Day 66. It is Thursday the 7th of March. It's the last day of the Gymshark66 challenge. And I thought that I would go through / talk about some of the things that I have learned throughout my little journey. So my goal was to improve my relationship with food. Like, that was the first and foremost. My portions were always crazy. I would, if I craved crisps, I'd buy that on the way home. Every day felt like a really long day, so at the end of the day I would buy myself a treat, and me and Ash would share a pack of donuts, or share a pack of cookies, or share a pack of crisps, or eat a box of Ritz. You know, like, we ate more junk food than I realised. Like, we ate really good food prep meals, but then we treated ourselves in the evening. We have got so much better at not doing that. We just put stuff into MyFitnessPal, and if a couple of rice cakes of Nutella fit in, then grand, and if they don't, then tough shit, basically. So that has probably been the first thing, like realising that we, or I, don't need more food. So I'm just making my breakfast, and while it's in, while my porridge is in the microwave, I fell over. I thought I'd say the next thing I wrote down, which is I work best when it's simple. So just 1, get a workout in, 2, hit my calories. So basically trying to think less into it, and yeah, sticking to the basics. I think that is what I mean by that. I find, because I tend to overthink and worry, I overcomplicate things, and then I get a little bit stressed, a little bit anxious, and kind of downward spiral, essentially. So, oh, it's gonna beep. Yes, so keeping it simple so that I don't overthink everything and then end up actually doing worse. Like, just keep it simple, stick to the plan, get it done. Like, that is what works for me. Next thing on my list, finding a balance is really hard. I'm supposed to be in a deficit, so feeling a little bit low energy is okay. But finding time to sleep and look after myself and food prep and train alongside work and normal life admin is hard, but that's okay that it's hard. Going out every weekend of February was probably not okay. So that made me more tired, and then I wanted more food. And finding that balance between sort of feeling okay and being in a deficit and making progress, like, that balance is really difficult. And it's supposed to be difficult. It's okay that it's difficult. The struggle is real, and the struggle is good for you. I'm just on my way home for like a wee break and a physical space away from the gym. My next thing that I wrote down is literally bulking meals with veg is always a good idea, even if it's just eggs or whatever. Like, volume for me is key, so always add veg.
Quiet, they usually say, do this, do that, grow up, be nice and behave. But I've never wanted to be like them. Monday to Friday, that's just nothing for me.
I'm home and I'm just about to eat my food, so I added some protein cheese and some pesto, and I'm really excited. Again, I love that protein cheese because it's just such a good lower calorie alternative, and then also has quite high protein. So you can see on my MyFitnessPal, it gives you the little wheel at the top. It's a lot of green, which is protein, which is awesome. So the next thing on my list that I've learned is another really quick one. It just simply says, 5 hours of sleep is not enough. Now sleep is still a problem. I'm still not averaging 7 hours of sleep a night. I think I like tend to get a little bit more at the weekends, but like Monday to Friday I'm still doing like 5 hours, and it makes me feel like shit. So I really need to work on that. That's like my next thing. I know the lighting is not good in here, but just off the back of my last thing, which was 5 hours sleep is not enough, I'm actually gonna just have an hour nap before I get ready to go back to work for my clients this evening. Yeah, like energy levels is something that I really struggle with, and a lot of the time, because my free time is between like 3 and 5, that's when I train. If I haven't slept well, I get to 3 in the afternoon, having been at work since like 6 or 7 in the morning, and I am so tired. I really want to sleep. So if I have a big gap, like I had a big enough gap today to come home, so I'm gonna sleep. Sometimes I don't have a big gap, so I just stay there to train, but I end up procrastinating because I'm just too tired and I don't want to train. My next thing I've written down is I always feel better after I train. It's so obvious. You feel amazing when you train. You've accomplished something, plus you literally are chemically, I don't know what I'm saying, the happy hormones, so you do feel happier after you train, but also it just, for me, makes me find it easier to then eat healthy, because I feel like I'm on the upward spiral instead of the downward spiral. So anyway, so today I am going to train after my client instead, and yeah, so I'm going to catch up on sleep, and I'm quite excited. I'm quite cold actually. It's bloody freezing in my room. So yes.
We've got a life to live, so please don't waste my time. Let tomorrow be tomorrow, not here now. Forget your trouble and celebrate tonight. Come and join in, get it started in this town.
I'm up from my nap and I'm eating, and then I'm going to do a little bit of editing and go to work. My next thing on my list of what I have learned is that I still get food envy when Ash has more than me, but it doesn't annoy me or get me down like it did before. Like, I was definitely like jealous and annoyed before. Now I'm just like, yeah, that's an annoying piece of life sort of thing. It's a part of life, but it is what it is kind of thing. So I will do this at work. I think I'm on my way back to work and it's raining and windy and minging. Next on my list is that if I don't food prep, I'm like a kid in a candy shop when I go and buy food for the day in coffee shops or Tesco. I don't trust myself yet. I've just finished work and I'm getting ready to train. I'm just going to do a really quick session because it's 6:45, it's late. My next thing on my list is, it takes me a really long time to get over a big drinking event, more mentally than physically. Brackets, getting myself to do the training and go back to tracking is really hard, so maybe the discipline isn't quite there yet. So Amsterdam was a really big weekend. It was like 3 nights out maybe. That took a good 3 days to get over. Yeah, obviously I think I still feel and believe, or let myself believe, that I really need the like carby, stodgy hangover food, and then I definitely don't train for like 2 days at least. And then my birthday weekend was a big weekend as well, so yeah. So that's another thing to work on, yay. Right, I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 exercises 3 times and that's it. This is my like second glute workout of the week, and I do a third one on the Saturday, so if I miss this, then bad times. So let's go. Oh, I'm definitely more disciplined with training because I don't think I've ever trained a 6:45 after work before, because I'm start work early tomorrow morning, so this is good. This is discipline. Something is better than nothing.
Rather be fun than what they say won't be safe and sound. There's time for that, but not now. And while we are young, let's be stupid. Just you, me, and the night. The one thing we should know is that we got plenty of time. That we got plenty of time. That we got plenty of time. You don't know a thing about what this is like. I don't want to think about what's ahead. I'm here now. 'Cause I've always wanted to feel alive. Live in the moment, let the future arrive. I'm gonna tell the world the way it's going down. Let tomorrow be tomorrow, right here now. Won't let them bother me, I'm not gonna waste my time. Come and join and get it started in this town. I'd rather be fun than what they say won't be safe and sound. There's time for that, but not now. And while we are
I've just left the gym and it's blinking wet and miserable outside. That workout was really quick but really painful, so that's really good, and I was just concentrating on squeezing as hard as possible, like always. The next thing on my list is a bit random. Me and Hannah were talking about this yesterday. Both me, her and Sarah were just talking about how we're relatively similar, and people would assume that we are extroverts, and I just found it interesting because I've never thought about myself like this. So I'm going to read what I wrote. I've written, I'm actually an introvert. I've always thought that I was an extrovert. I thought that the way I was feeling was job resentment. This is because I'm 100% on it with clients, and I'm really super positive and really sociable all day, and then when I'm done I don't want to talk to anybody or reply to messages on my phone. And Han was saying this actually could be just because I'm recharging, like I need time on my own, not because I'm miserable, which is, I'd kind of been being down on myself for being down, but I'm not really down. Maybe I'm actually just chilling. So anyway, that's an interesting one. I'm home from work, yay. I am so drained. I feel like today should be Friday, but it's Thursday, whatever. So my next thing on my list is really short and sweet. It is, I actually enjoy using MyFitnessPal and being on track, which is so true. I always thought, I don't know, I was like, oh god, I'm gonna track, ew. And I really don't feel that way towards MyFitnessPal anymore. I enjoy it, and when I have a really good day I'm really proud, and I like that feeling of like that mini win every day, basically. I'm guessing I'm gonna get sick of it, and it's quite hard when you're craving shit. Obviously not shit. It's hard when you're craving a lot of food and then you're like, oh, I can't make it fit. But I'm gonna make for dinner what we had yesterday, because it's like loads and loads of vegetables, and it is so MyFitnessPal calorie counter friendly, and it means that, yeah, I'll be on track again, and I enjoy that. So yes, god, way to make something not short and sweet, Helen. Another point just before I start cooking is another quick one. Just says I'm so much better at managing diet guilt. So you know when you have a cheat meal or something, then the next day I used to feel really crap, and now I just get back to it and try and get back to normal, which is really good. And there's a video by Stephanie Buttermore, I don't know if that's her name, but she did a 10,000 calorie challenge, and she weighed herself for the like next 3 days afterwards to show that her weight just actually went back to normal, because she just went back to normal. So she didn't fuck her metabolism, essentially. She just like had a load of food, her body dealt with it, and she got on with it. And yeah, it's good. I never used to be able to do that. And also my cheat meals were always like a, oh fuck, I like fucked up. Whereas now it's like, oh, we're gonna have this, and it's a cheat meal, and it's like a positive thing rather than a negative thing, which is good.
Young, let's be stupid, just you, me, and the night. The one thing we should know is that we got plenty of.
I'm just about to have some unicorn Fruit Loops. My next thing on my list is that pizza tastes so much better and more satisfying when you haven't had it for ages, and I therefore do not need to have it once a week. I feel like once a month is gonna be perfect. And yeah, instead of having it because of something to make us feel better because we're tired and we just want takeaway, like it's more like something that we look forward to, and it's a really positive experience instead of like a negative experience, essentially. Okay, so last little bits, I've actually finished my food for the day, so now I'm just gonna run them all off, and I hope it's not boring. I'm just gonna read them off of my phone, and some of these are now goals as well as just what I've learned. So one is, I should make myself train even when I don't want to, because I feel so much better afterwards. I know I said something similar earlier, but I genuinely should make myself train, because yeah, I want to continue doing that going forwards, basically. Next, I want to continue to use my MyFitnessPal's calorie track and be in a deficit at least until June, so that I feel better in my summer clothes than I did last year. Last year I tried to lose weight for when we went to New York, and I was really inconsistent, so obviously didn't really get anywhere, and I was really self-conscious. And it's just shit when you feel self-conscious. I don't want to be like that this summer as well. I need some strength goals. That's the next one. I like training for strength, and yeah. I need to take progress pictures and measurements. I regret not taking measurements. This is very true. People have said I look different and I don't see it, so I would like to, yeah, to see it, basically. My next one is, I don't have diet or drink guilt after big weekends. I just get on with it, get back to the plan. I just feel a bit disappointed that there isn't more of a physical change. Or there you go, another disappointment. I'm annoyed that I didn't take measurements, and I'm annoyed that there isn't more of a physical change, but I do feel like my mindset has changed a lot, so that's really, really good. My Gymshark66 journey has been about getting my diet on track to control my cravings and my portion sizes, and then also changing my mindset towards myself and my food. And I feel like I have more discipline and more self-control with my diet, which has also meant that I've had more discipline with my workouts too. So overall, it's been really, really positive. Yay! I'll definitely do it again next year. I'm assuming they're going to do it every year now. And I just kind of hope that I can keep up the sort of positivity towards food and exercise sort of forever, really. And then I want to make sure I'm in a deficit and don't go back to eating my tiredness, essentially. Yeah, that's my main thing, being tired and just eating to make me feel better. So I need to make sure I maintain that control in the evenings. But anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Sorry it's a bit of a long and chatty one and not much goes on, but if you liked it, please remember to like it, and I will see you in my next one. And until then, stay happy and healthy. Find your balance, bitch. Bye. See you in my next one, and until then, stay happy and healthy.